Hey folks, Meltvin here, the only slice brave enough to ride every roller coaster without getting dizzy. You're listening to One Slice at a Time with Ryan and Stephanie, two travel agents who take Disney way too seriously and still argue about which park has better snacks. Let's get this show in the oven.
Thanks, Meltvin. Welcome back to One Slice at a Time, the travel podcast where pizza is life and travel, well, that's everything else. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Ryan. We're both travel agents helping you turn your travel dreams into travel reality.
Today is the big showdown.
The fight that ends friendships and starts group chats.
We're doing East Coast versus West Coast, Disney World versus Disneyland.
All our listeners are going to have group chats where they're like, can you believe what Stephanie said about Disneyland? Can you believe what Ryan said about Disney World? It's going to be crazy. Yeah. We're talking parks, rides, foods, hotel, guests, cast members, fast passes, maybe VIP tours, parties, all of it.
And if you're listening at home, I want you guys to think about this. Which side are you on? East Coast or West Coast? Because we want to hear your opinions too.
Yeah, let's find out.
But before we do, last week we sailed from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia on an unforgettable Atlas Ocean Voyages journey. Penguins, glaciers, whales, and wild enough moments to fill a whole pizza box.
That's right. It was a full pie of adventure. And if you missed it, hop back an episode. You'll hear about ice fields, wandering whales, and the world's most dramatic Land Rover ride.
So first, let's start off just comparing the parks overall. Disney World is huge. We're talking 4 theme parks, water parks, all the resorts, golf, mini golf, the whole thing. It is a little bit overwhelming, but at the same time, you never get bored. There's always something new to do.
It's true. Disneyland's a lot smaller, but it's walkable, easy, comfortable, no buses, no long rides to the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple, no stress.
Which is why I choose Disneyland for usually first-time visitors and people that have young kids. Like the convenience of never having to fold your stroller. You can hit all the main rides and not have this big spread out thing. What about you, Ryan? How do you feel like the spread out
convenience?
Yeah.
I will say this. Okay. A couple of things. Disneyland, their metal detectors are not good. Like you're going to have to take your belt off and do the whole thing. It's kind of like going to the airport before TSA pre-checked and all their, upgrades and stuff. So you got that going on at Disneyland, but the convenience of Disneyland is just remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
At Disney World, I will be honest, there are times where I am sitting inside a Disney resort saying, Magic Kingdom is such a pain in the butt to get to today. I don't think I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happens at Disney World. At Disneyland, you just walk outside your hotel and like literally 3 minutes later, you're in the park. It's so close, super convenient. On size and charm, I think Disneyland is going to win for me every time. I love that about this park.
I have to agree with you here. I think that the size, it gives you the ability to do so much. It gives you a lot of variety at Disney World, which we'll get into later when we talk about the different aspects of it. But it's too much, right? It loses out on the convenience factor. So definitely Disneyland for me on this one too.
But let's talk about rides.
Okay.
This is a whole nother facet. Disneyland, I think, has better versions of the classic rides. Your Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Space Mountain, they're all much stronger than the Disney World versions.
I have to agree there. I do like Pirates much better in Disneyland than I do in Disney World. I will say that we will do a Disneyland trip just so Eva will ride Matterhorn bobsleds. So there are some rides that are not even just different, but they're missing from Disney World. Yeah. But on the other side, Disney World has just more rides overall. That's what we're talking about. Yes, it's more spread out. 4 parks to choose from, there are entire lands in Disney World that don't fit in Disneyland. There is Avatar. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. There are amazing experiences in Disney World and rides that Disneyland just can't even compete with.
There's an
all
animal
of Animal Kingdom
at Disney.
Yeah.
World.
The whole thing, right?
Like they have elephant.
Right.
You know, like yeah. So on like, you know, where we said in the last segment, convenience, you've got that going for you at Disneyland. The trade-off is all of this other stuff that Disney World is able to put in there because they have the space. They had the space to build like the largest zoo in the world when they built Animal Kingdom, and then also Animal Kingdom Lodge with additional zoos. Like there's 20 something resorts at Disney World. So Disneyland has 3. So there's a huge variety of choice, and also the rides. Like Disneyland is trying to put all the best ones, but they just don't have the space. They don't have Epcot. They don't have Epcot.
I don't have Epcot at all. So,
and when you were adults doing Disney, like I am most of the time, you need Epcot.
And while I do love food and wine at both parks, nothing beats food and wine at Epcot. So let's get into the food. Disneyland, I would have to say, overall, the food's just better in California. What do you think, Ryan?
No, it's a hard no. In fact, this is like, not even close for me. So we are miles apart on this one. Okay. Disneyland is going to win the snacks, I think. And I'll
give you that.
And that's what I think you eat at Disney totally different than I do.
Right.
So maybe that's why we have
churros, beignets, Mickey bread. That's mine. That's what I'm eating.
The churros at Disneyland are amazing. We did a whole churro challenge last December. Maggie and I had, I think, 10, 12 different kinds of churros just because we could. We're adults. We do that now. But Disney World has like restaurants that are good, and Disneyland does not. Disneyland has Carthay Circle, which is really fun and really good place to go. It's the best restaurant in both the parks. And they have some good ones in downtown Disney, specifically that pizza place I've mentioned. But and there's some good Mexican food on the strip there too. And they got Din Tai Fung, so they have some things going on there. But I can find a restaurant that I really like in each of the Disney parks and $1 billion at the resorts. So Disney World, for me, if I'm going on a foodie journey, that's the place I'm going.
So Disney World wins sit-down restaurants, and Disneyland wins if we're snacking around the park.
I think that's true, especially when you hit the staples. But now, now you got me thinking about like Epcot, all the little tiny houses and stuff too. So Disney World wins on food overall.
Okay.
Churros are better at Disneyland.
Just the churros. Okay. So guys, what do you think? If you've been to both, would you pick Disneyland beignets or those cheeseburger spring rolls over at Magic Kingdom? I know what I'm picking.
Choose wisely. Choose wisely. And Steph, the answer is the pepperoni spring rolls from that cart.
Oh, yeah, not the cheeseburger ones. So,
all right,
let's talk hotels.
Yeah, let's. Because I already alluded to it once, but, you know, the convenience of the hotels, I think Disneyland wins. But Disney World has so many to choose from, and you can have a different trip every time you go.
I agree. I like the selection of hotels better at Disney World. Man, the convenience of being able to walk and the convenience of being able to walk from a quote unquote good neighbor hotel, you're not going to get that at Disney World. So again, that's why I come back to, if this is your first time trip or you're doing a quick trip, Disneyland is the winner every single time for me. But if you want that full Disney experience, man, they have so many hotels to choose from. So Disney World wins it here. How many they have? Over 20. It's crazy.
Disney World also has levels, right? You can go and stay at Disney World for $200 a night. True. At Disneyland, you can't touch that.
No.
And then, so Disney
Even
World
their
has
value property is well over that amount.
Yes. Disney World's going to have your $200, your $500, and your $1,000 a night properties. Disneyland it basically has between $700 and $1,000 per night. Sometimes you can get Pixar Place for $400 or $500.
4 or 5, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
On an off season. So that's why you always end up staying at those good neighbor hotels, which it's nice that they have those so conveniently next to the park. But
yeah. Unless you're me staying at the Grand Californian every time.
well, you're bougie. I'm bougie on a budget.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I still think Disney World wins on hotels, even though Disneyland has the convenience.
All right, I'll give you that one. Disney World wins the hotel game then. What about transportation, since we've already kind of covered this one?
Yeah, Disneyland's going to win. That's just
Every
convenience.
time.
There is none. There's none. There's none.
You take the monorail only if you want to take it because it's fun to take the original monorail. Like you don't have to take it anywhere. Yeah, it's not convenient.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not 20,000 steps a day. You just...
That said, I will give Disney World credit for having the transportation that they have, because it's a thing where you can, once you're kind of there, you don't have to leave. You have the options, the boats, the buses, the Skyliner, the monorail. You have all that kind of taken care of for you. So I give them credit on that. I think it's just easier to walk.
Oh, I agree. While I love the Skyliner option at Disney World, I'm going to choose my own feet every single time to get me where I need to go so I do not have to stand in a line.
That's where the Contemporary wins for some of my clients, because they can walk to Magic Kingdom.
Right to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Hold up. Before you two argue about monorails and buses again, let me remind the listeners that Ryan and Stephanie are travel agents. Good ones. They can plan your whole Disney trip so you don't end up crying next to a map. Also, it's time for Ryan's crusty review.
Okay, so last week we talked about my trip to Argentina and all that, and I gave my big review on the Argentina pizza experience that I had. Well, about 2 weeks after that, I hadn't had pizza, and so when the excursion dropped me off in the center of Punta Arenas, I was like, I better find a slice. Like, when is the next time I'm going to have pizza? So I found a pizza spot. It's kind of, maybe it's like a block or two off the square. I don't really remember what the name of the place was, and it doesn't matter because the pizza was just kind of okay. It was adequate. It was available. It was a 5 or a 4. It was not the best pizza, but I had, cruise ships. I was slumming it on steaks and, that kind of thing for a week, 2 weeks. So I had to get some pizza. Yeah. Thank you for catching it. So the cool thing, though, I'm going to give them, sometimes, as has been documented on this podcast before, that I am a sucker for good marketing. And they had one of those neon signs on the on the window that said "Pizza lovers welcome here" or something like that. And I took a
Ryan's like,
photo,
that's me. That's me.
That's right. That's right. It's like, I guess I have to stop. But I took a photo of myself so I was trying to get that sign in my sunglasses, and I think I did an okay job. That was the highlight of that pizza stop. So Punta Arenas, closer to what we're used to than Argentina, but just kind of adequate.
So speaking of adequate, let's talk about the Disney bubble at Disneyland, because it's just kind of adequate. So
you weigh in first.
Okay.
You go first.
So I have some opinions about this because
no,
not me. I love Disney history. So being in Disneyland and that park that Walt built, that is absolutely, it just is mind-boggling to me. I love walking around and looking at all that stuff. And I've read the books, and I won't bore everybody, but it's incredible to me. And seeing all the rides and stuff in their original forms that have been there since day one, that is incredible to me. But at the same time, Disneyland is a day park for a lot of Southern California people. So there is not really this bubble. You don't get there and feel like that, I don't know how to describe it. let me think of some words here.
You're just among vacationers.
Yeah.
You're
you
there.
don't feel like you're at Disney. You're just at Disneyland. You know what I mean? You're just at a theme park for the day. You don't really feel like you're on this whole like vacation. You don't feel like you're in the bubble. They've tried to make it that way by adding Downtown Disney and the hotels and stuff nearby. I will say, as far as cast member experience, I've never had a bad cast member experience at Disneyland. Guests are a little bit ruder. I do feel like the Disneyland parks are a little bit more crowded than even the Disney World parks. And we really don't go during high seasons, but I feel like it's a little bit more crowded at the Disneyland parks. And like I said, the guests are a little bit ruder, just, because they're locals. It's not like everybody's there on vacation having a great time. What about you, Ryan? How do you feel?
The overall vibe, I guess, is what we're going for. And like, for me, you go into Disneyland knowing that it's like this steeped in history. It's the original. It's the place. It's where Walt was sitting in the park and he was like, there ought to be a place where kids and parents can go together and have a great time. And that's what you're seeing at Disneyland. However, if you were to take Main Street Magic Kingdom and Main Street Disneyland, put them side by side, there's a ton more magic that comes with Disney World.
Yes.
From that, so when I think you can sum up this, you can sum up this whole vibe thing that we're talking about with the word magic. Yes. Because when you're looking at Cinderella's castle, it kind of blows you away. Yeah. When you then go and you look at Sleeping Beauty Castle, you're like,
where did it go?
Oh, yeah.
There
what
it is.
What about the rest of it? Yeah. Yeah. So sorry, Sleeping Beauty, but yes. So I think there's a lot more magic at play at Disney World.
I do too. I totally agree. I think that was the word I was looking for. It's just, imagine that. I couldn't find the word magic. But yeah, definitely. There is that level of magic.
Let's talk about fast passes and lightning lanes.
So I think Disneyland definitely wins this one. I do not have to get up at the crack of dawn 7 days before my trip and pick my fast passes. What about you, Ryan?
Well, there's some pros and cons. I do love the fact that you don't have to do the advance thing. Like, you can wait until the day of. Yeah. That said, you got to go early on the day of. True. And get inside that park so that you can make your selection. So you don't have that advanced planning aspect that comes with Disney World. That said, I mean, they work pretty much exactly the same with the exception of that advanced planning aspect. The other difference is, though, there's only two parks and you've got all these rides crammed in. I feel like you can get pretty much anything you want at both parks if you're really diligent about it. The Premier Pass, though, is sort of a difference, because if you are going to shell out the cash to get the Premier Pass, at Disneyland, it's a great value. If you got a park hopper ticket, you pay that $400. I don't know, maybe it's not a great value, but you pay $400 per person and you're done planning for both parks. You got, fast passes for both parks, nothing to worry about. At Disney World, you can only get it at one park. And if you're like at Animal Kingdom or something, like, there's not a ton that you can use it on.
Exactly. I do love how the Premier Pass works at Disneyland a lot better. I think that as far as value is concerned, Disney World, because of if you buy Lightning Lane, you can use it in all four parks if you have a park hopper. So that is like a greater value for your Lightning Lanes overall for the day, because you can use it on so many different rides if you're just doing the regular multi-passes. But, oh man, you just cannot beat, when I buy my tickets for Disneyland, I can add the fact that I want Lightning Lanes at the time I purchase my tickets. And I am done. I am done until the day I get there. There is no thinking about this ahead of time, trying to figure out some sort of secret formula to Disney World passes and which 3 I should pick ahead of time at my 7-day window, and which single passes I need to pick ahead of time at my single day window. It's just too complex. It's too confusing. And
You hit on another point.
Yeah.
Another point that you hit on right there is the fact that Disneyland is a consistent price. Like they're not doing surge pricing like Disney World does for their passes.
That's right.
And so I do give them an edge there.
For sure.
Is Disneyland going to win this whole thing?
I don't know. So let's talk finally about these special events like Halloween, Christmas, after hours parties. What do you think, Ryan?
I mean, I'm a sucker for this stuff. This Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, I went to twice this year. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party, I am going to twice this year. I guess at this point, the time this airs, I've gone twice. Jollywood Nights, I'm going. There's Moonlight Magic. There's after hours events at Disney World. I think Disney World wins on this one. I know that there are some people that are going to come at me now with, Oogie Boogie Bash and stuff, but
I'm coming for you for Oogie Boogie Bash. I have been to both.
I've not been. I'll be honest.
I've been to both. Oogie Boogie Bash wins it for me. If you are a parent with older kids or adults, Oogie Boogie Bash is the way to go. Skip that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. It's for kids. Period. It is for kids.
Even with Powerline Max.
Even with Powerline Max.
I get goosebumps every time I hear, stand out.
Do the Oogie Boogie. The villains, the energy. Oogie Boogie is the way to go for adults, older kids. Even Eva, that was like 6 when we went, he liked it a lot better than Mickey's Not So Scary. Now, also, the thing you have to think about at Disneyland is a lot of things are going on that you don't need a special ticket for, that at Disney World you need a special ticket for. So we skipped right over the fact that the ride overlays at Disneyland, the one they do for Haunted Mansion and Small World, you don't need a special ticket for a party to be able to see this stuff. So
that's so true. Yep.
A lot of these.
And the Haunted Mansion one is really extensive.
It's
a
really
full makeover. Whereas at Disney World, the makeover during Halloween time is really not the ride. It's the line. They put some ghosts in the line. Right. So that's a fair point on those overlays.
So for me, I think Disneyland wins Halloween, but Disney World wins Christmas, because snow on Main Street USA, like that is.
So it's a tie.
I think it's a tie here. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give Disney World the edge because I have, with the exception of Oogie Boogie Bash, there's not been something that I really need to go to Disneyland for this extra event. But yeah, so that's mine. Whereas at Disney World, I'm like, oh shoot, the Jollywood Night tickets are out. I gotta go.
Gotta go now.
To go.
All right, guys. So that's our showdown. Disneyland wins a lot of them for me. The snacks, just the overall history, and definitely on Halloween.
Disneyland also wins on convenience, but Disney World wins size, magic, spectacle, hotels, rides, Christmas, VIP tours, and sit-down restaurants. Disneyland has the churros, but Disney World has the restaurants. So that's where I stand.
So which coast is better? I think it just depends on what kind of trip you want.
But we love both.
Oh, we sure do. And we plan both.
Yeah. If Disney's not your jam, do tune in next week, because we're serving up some more 2026 travel trends. The hottest trends, rising destinations, what's cooking in the travel world. It's going to be part 2 of our 2026 travel trend little series that we have going on.
That's right. So speaking of what's cooking, Ryan, what's for dinner tonight?
Something from the West Coast, since we talked so much Disneyland.
Ooh, we're getting some In-N-Out burger.
Oh, gross. No.
All right, fine.
Maybe I'll give you a California Pizza Kitchen. But...
Nah.
Definitely pizza.
All right, guys. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap on today's Slice, friends. Big thanks for hanging out with Stephanie, Ryan, and me, Meltvin, as we served up the ultimate Disneyland versus Disney World showdown. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a slice. And if you're ready for some stress-free trip planning magic, reach out to Stephanie and Ryan. They've got you covered like extra cheese. Before you go, don't forget to check the show notes for all the links. You can grab our free guide to Disney World Lightning Lanes or reach out to Stephanie and Ryan directly. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave us a review. It helps more Pizza Pals find the show. Until next time, stay saucy, stay cheesy, and keep slicing one trip at a time.